My young brothers and sisters, remember one thing very clearly: success does not come overnight, and it never comes by shouting about your dreams to the world. Real success is built quietly in those long nights when nobody is watching you, in those early mornings when others are still asleep, and in those sacrifices that only you know about. You don't need to announce your struggles. Let your work speak for you. When you build yourself with patience, with consistency, with faith in Allah, then a time comes when the world itself will witness your results, and those results will be louder than any words you could ever say. True success is built in silence, not in noise. When you look at the people who have actually made a mark in life, you will realize that they did not spend their energy telling the world about their dreams or announcing their struggles every single day. Instead, they kept their focus on the work itself. They understood that the loudest voice is not the one that constantly seeks attention, but the one that lets its actions create undeniable impact. In a world where everyone is busy showing off, proving themselves on social media, and craving validation, real strength lies in being able to move quietly, with determination, and with an unshakable belief that your work will eventually speak for you. Success is never about the noise you make while you are on the journey. It is about the weight of results when you finally arrive at your destination. Those who chase recognition too early often end up losing focus. They spend so much time trying to convince others of their potential that they forget the most important part, proving it through results. On the other hand, those who embrace silence, who keep their heads down and their hearts strong, slowly build a foundation that cannot be shaken. Every quiet hour of study, every unnoticed day of hard work, every ignored sacrifice builds into something much bigger. When you do things in silence, there is no pressure of expectation, no unnecessary competition, no distraction of applause. There is only you and your commitment. That purity of effort is what creates true excellence. Silence is powerful because it protects your energy. Every time you speak about your goals prematurely, you give away a part of that energy to the world. People might discourage you, criticize you, or doubt you, and that negativity can weaken your resolve. But when you keep your plans to yourself and let your actions be your response, you not only safeguard your vision, but also build inner strength. The great achievers of history never wasted their time proving their worth with words. They proved it by delivering results that could not be ignored. Silent effort is not weakness. It is the highest form of confidence, the kind that does not need approval because it knows the truth will reveal itself in time. Another reason silence matters is because it sharpens focus. Noise is a distraction, and distractions dilute discipline. When you stop worrying about how others perceive you. You start giving full attention to the actual process of growth. You stop performing for the audience and start performing for yourself. That is where real transformation happens. Imagine an athlete training in silence, away from cameras, away from applause. Day after day, he runs those extra miles, lifts those extra weights, repeats those painful drills, all without anyone cheering for him. Months later, when he steps onto the field, the results of his silent struggle become visible to the entire world. That is the essence of silent effort, working so intensely in private that when the moment comes, the result speaks louder than any speech or explanation. True success is never rushed. It requires patience, persistence, and the ability to endure loneliness. Silence trains you to stay patient, to trust the process, and to keep moving even when nobody notices. This journey can feel invisible at times, but invisibility is not failure, it is preparation. Those unseen hours are what give your results their power. When you finally succeed, the very people who once doubted you will stand amazed because your results will be too big, too real, too undeniable to be ignored. Consistency in effort matters more than temporary motivation. Motivation is powerful. It can give you a spark. It can push you to start something, but it does not last forever. There will be days when you feel inspired, when you are excited about your dreams, and you are willing to give your best. But then there will also be days when you wake up tired, when things feel heavy, when the world seems to be against you, and when every step feels harder than the last. On those days, motivation will not save you. What saves you, what keeps you moving forward is consistency. Consistency is the discipline of showing up every single day, regardless of how you feel, regardless of whether people are watching, and regardless of whether results are immediately visible. When you understand the value of consistency, you stop chasing bursts of energy and instead focus on building habits that last. Think about how water shapes a stone. It is not through one massive wave, but through the steady, repeated drops that fall over time. That same principle applies to success. Greatness is not built in one day of passion. It is built in thousands of days of persistence. The person who studies for 1 hour every day will always surpass the person who studies for 10 hours once and then gives up. The person who trains regularly, who sticks to small but steady steps, will always outlast the one who relies only on short-term motivation. Consistency also builds trust in yourself. Every time you commit to a small action and follow through, you strengthen your belief that you can rely on yourself. That inner trust becomes a powerful force because it keeps you moving even when external circumstances are not in your favor. Many people fail not because they lack talent or intelligence, but because they lack the patience to stay consistent when things got tough. They relied too much on motivation, expecting it to carry them every single day. And when that energy faded, they gave up. But those who build routines, who discipline their minds, and who continue working silently, even in their low moments, they develop the kind of strength that no setback can break. The beauty of consistency is that it compounds. The effort you put in today may look small, it may feel insignificant, but when added to the effort of yesterday and the effort of tomorrow, it becomes unstoppable. A writer who writes 1 page every day will have a book in a year. An athlete who trains every day will build endurance that no sudden burst of effort can match. A student who learns a little every day will end up mastering what once seemed impossible. Success is not about the size of the effort in one day. It is about the repetition of effort over many days. Consistency also protects you from the trap of comparison. When you are focused on showing up daily, you no longer waste time looking at what others are doing. You stop measuring your progress against someone else's highlight reel and start measuring it against your own discipline. Even slow progress becomes satisfying because you know you are moving forward with stability. That stability becomes your competitive advantage. While others burn out after moments of high energy, you keep going steadily, and eventually you surpass them, not because you were the fastest, but because you refused to stop. The journey of consistency teaches you humility as well. It makes you realize that greatness is not in grand gestures, but in quiet persistence. It is the daily commitment to improve, to refine, to keep showing up, even when nobody notices. Consistency strips away arrogance because it is not about one-time glory. It is about proving yourself again and again through action. That humility keeps you grounded and prepares you for the larger victories that will eventually come. Discipline and patience are the backbone of silent growth. Without discipline, effort has no direction, and without patience, even the best efforts collapse before they can bear fruit. Success is not about how fast you move, it is about how steadily you move, how consistently you show up, and how long you are willing to endure the struggle before the results finally appear. Many people start their journeys with excitement, but very few have the discipline to continue. When the excitement fades, many dream of success, but very few have the patience to wait through the long nights of failure, the moments of doubt, and the times when nothing seems to be changing. Discipline keeps you moving when your emotions try to pull you away, and patience keeps you waiting when the results are delayed. Together, they become the pillars that hold up your entire journey. Discipline means training yourself to do what is necessary, not just what is comfortable. It means waking up early when your body wants to sleep, studying when your friends are distracted, practicing when others are relaxing, and staying committed when distractions are calling. Discipline is not easy because it often forces you to go against your own desires, but that is what makes it powerful. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you grow stronger, and that strength is what separates achievers from dreamers. Those who lack discipline depend on motivation, and motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes, but discipline is a decision, a choice to stay committed regardless of how you feel. Patience is equally important because growth is never immediate. Seeds take time to become trees, and hard work takes time to become success. In today's world, everyone wants quick results. People want shortcuts, overnight fame, instant recognition. But real success does not work like that. If you do not have patience, you will give up before your effort has time to show its results. Patience allows you to trust the process. Even when nothing seems to be happening, it allows you to keep moving forward without frustration, without bitterness, without giving up hope. It reminds you that silence is not failure, it is preparation. The combination of discipline and patience creates unstoppable momentum. Discipline ensures that every single day you are making progress, even if it is small. Patience ensures that you keep going long enough for those small steps to turn into giant leaps. Imagine a person who trains in silence for years, building his strength, building his skills, while nobody notices. Day after day, he disciplines himself to show up, and year after year, he patiently waits for his time. Then, when the opportunity comes, he is ready. He rises above everyone else, not because he was lucky, but because he was prepared. That preparation was built on discipline and patience. Silent growth is not visible to the world, but it is deeply powerful. When you are disciplined, you don't need validation from others. When you are patient, you don't need immediate recognition. You simply trust your effort, trust your journey, and keep moving forward. One day, the results will speak, and they will speak so loudly that those who once doubted you will be left in silence. That is why discipline and patience are not just qualities, they are the foundation of every lasting success. Let results speak louder than your words ever could. Too often, people waste their energy in explaining their dreams, announcing their plans, and trying to convince others of their potential. They talk about what they are going to achieve. They boast about their ambitions. And they spend more time speaking than working. But the truth is that words fade quickly, while results remain undeniable. No matter how powerful your speech is, no matter how convincing your promises are, nothing has more weight than the evidence of achievement. Results silence critics, they shut down doubt, and they make even the loudest opposition quiet, because results are proof that cannot be debated, when you focus on proving yourself through action, you stop being dependent on validation. You no longer care whether people believe in you or not, because your results will eventually force them to acknowledge your effort. It is easy to argue with words, but it is impossible to argue with success. That is why some of the most successful people in the world are often the quietest during their journey. They don't spend the time defending themselves or explaining why they will succeed. Instead, they build, they create, they work, and when the time comes, their achievements stand tall like mountains that nobody can ignore. Talking about success before you achieve it can also weaken your energy. Every time you announce your goals, you invite opinions, doubts, and criticism from people who may not understand your vision. Some will discourage you, some will laugh at you, and some will try to pull you down. If you let their words affect you, you may lose the fire within you. But if you stay silent and keep your head down, you protect your energy. You allow your work to mature quietly, and when the results arrive, they do the talking for you. There is a certain beauty in surprising people with results they never saw coming. Results also inspire in a way that words cannot. A speech may motivate someone for a moment, but an achievement can inspire for generations. When a student from humble beginnings tops the nation, when an athlete from a small town wins a medal, when a worker builds an empire from scratch, their results become a story that no words could have replaced. Results carry the weight of truth. They show what is possible, they create belief, and they remind people that dreams are not just fantasies. They are realities waiting for effort. Another powerful aspect of letting results speak is that it keeps you humble during your journey. If you are constantly trying to prove yourself through words, you may fall into arrogance, trying to sound bigger than you actually are. But when you focus on results, you learn to respect the process. You don't seek attention, you seek growth. You don't chase applause, you chase mastery. That humility is what keeps you grounded and prevents success from becoming a source of ego. Results also bring credibility. Anyone can make promises, but not everyone can deliver. The world remembers those who deliver. Once you achieve something significant, you no longer need to speak much because your work speaks for you. People trust actions more than they trust intentions. A leader is not respected for what he says he will do, but for what he has already done. A student is not admired for his claims of hard work, but for the grades he achieves. A player is not valued for his words of confidence, but for the victories he earns on the field. That is why true strength lies in building results, not in building noise. Words may echo for a moment, but results echo forever. They become your signature, your introduction, and your legacy. Instead of telling the world what you will do, show them. Instead of trying to convince people, focus on convincing yourself through effort. And when the day comes, your results will speak in a voice so powerful that no words will ever be needed. Ignore distractions and focus on your own journey. The path to success is already difficult, and what makes it even harder are the countless distractions that surround us every single day. Everywhere you look, there are people showing off their lives, flashing their achievements, and competing for attention. Social media constantly bombards you with comparisons, making you feel like you are behind or not doing enough. Friends and relatives sometimes drag you into unnecessary conversations, unproductive habits, or gossip that adds nothing to your growth. If you allow yourself to be consumed by these distractions, your energy will be wasted, your time will slip away, and your focus will scatter in different directions. Success does not come to those who are busy watching others. It comes to those who guard their attention and invest it fully in their own journey. Every great achievement requires deep focus. To build mastery in anything, whether it is sports, studies, business, or personal growth, you need to give it your undivided attention. Distractions may look harmless, but they steal small pieces of your progress every day. A few wasted minutes here, a few careless conversations there, soon add up to hours, days, even months lost. When you focus on your own path, you stop measuring your life with the yardstick of others. You realize that everyone has their own timeline, their own struggles, and their own opportunities. Comparing yourself only makes you lose sight of your own progress. True growth begins when you stop asking, "What are they doing?" and start asking, "What am I doing to move forward today?" Ignoring distractions also protects your mental strength. People will always have opinions. They will always talk. They will always try to influence the way you think. Some will criticize you to pull you down, while others will praise you too early, making you complacent. Both can be dangerous. If you let criticism break you, you lose confidence. If you let praise blind you, you lose hunger. That is why you must learn to block out the noise and stay centered on your purpose. Your focus should be so strong that whether people cheer for you or mock you, it makes no difference to your commitment. Focus is also about choosing your battles wisely. Not every argument deserves your response. Not every event deserves your attention. And not every opportunity is worth pursuing. Many people fail not because they lacked talent, but because they wasted their time chasing too many things at once. By ignoring distractions, you give yourself the gift of clarity. You decide what truly matters, and you direct all your effort there. That clarity allows you to progress faster than those who are constantly switching paths. It is better to walk steadily on one road than to keep running in circles on many. There is also a deep, deep peace that comes with focusing on your own journey. You stop being restless about where others are and start finding satisfaction in your own growth. Even small progress feels valuable because you know it belongs to you and not to anyone else. That sense of ownership builds confidence. The more you stay consistent, the more your journey feels meaningful, and the less power distractions have over you. You begin to see that true success is not about proving yourself to the world, but about fulfilling the potential within you. In silence and focus, extraordinary things happen. While others are busy wasting energy on noise, you are quietly building yourself. While they are distracted by the outside world, you are strengthening your inner world. And when the time comes, the difference will be clear. The results of your focus will shine, and the distractions you once ignored will fade into irrelevance. Silent sacrifices today create powerful victories tomorrow. Every dream demands a price, and that price is often paid in silence, when nobody is watching, when nobody is appreciating, and when nobody is even aware of what you are going through. Success is not just about talent or opportunity, it is about the willingness to sacrifice comfort, ease, and temporary pleasures for something greater in the future. The people who achieve greatness are not the ones who always take the easy road. They are the ones who quietly endure the difficult path. They give up distractions, they sacrifice sleep, they distance themselves from negativity, and they choose discipline over comfort, all while the world continues to move as if nothing is happening. Those sacrifices may feel invisible in the moment, but they are silently shaping a future that will one day speak louder than anything else. Sacrifice is the hidden ingredient behind every story of success. When you see an athlete win a medal, you are not just seeing that one moment of glory. You are seeing years of silent sacrifices, missed celebrations, endless hours of training, physical pain and mental struggle. When you see a student top the exams, you are not just seeing their intelligence, you are seeing the sacrifices of late nights, early mornings, ignored distractions, and countless hours of focus. When you see a leader rise to power, you are not just seeing their confidence, you are seeing the sacrifices of rejection, struggle, and perseverance that shaped them. Every visible victory has behind it a long chapter of invisible sacrifice. The reason silent sacrifices are so powerful is because they build resilience. When you give up comfort for growth, you train your mind to handle stronger. You become stronger, more patient, and more focused. Sacrifice teaches you that progress is not about what you gain immediately, but about what you are willing to endure for a greater reward. Most people want success without sacrifice, but that is impossible. The bigger your dream, the bigger your sacrifices must be. Without them, your dream remains nothing more than wishful thinking. Silent sacrifices are proof of your seriousness, proof that you are not just talking about success, but actually paying the price for it. Another important aspect of sacrifice is that it keeps you grounded. When you give up something valuable today for a bigger vision tomorrow, you develop humility. You realize that nothing great comes cheap, and that humility prevents arrogance from entering your heart. When success finally comes, you know what you went through, you know what you gave up, and that memory reminds you never to take your victories for granted. Silent sacrifices keep you connected to your purpose and prevent you from losing focus. Sacrifices also separate the committed from the casual. Anyone can dream, anyone can desire, but very few are willing to pay the cost. Silent sacrifices filter out the weak, leaving behind only those who are truly determined. That is why, in the end, the number of people who achieve extraordinary success is small. It is not because opportunity is limited, but because the willingness to sacrifice is rare. Those who are willing to make those silent sacrifices build a discipline and strength that cannot be shaken. Silent sacrifices today may not bring applause, they may not bring recognition, and they may even bring loneliness, but they are never wasted. Each sacrifice adds up. Each one strengthens your foundation, and each one brings you a step closer to the victory you seek. And when that victory finally arrives, it will not just be your success, it will be a powerful statement to the world that every sacrifice you made in silence was worth it. Every great journey teaches us one thing: success is never about what you say, it is always about what you do. Words may inspire for a moment, but it is action, persistence, and silent dedication that build a future. We live in a time where people are obsessed with showing off their progress, announcing their dreams, and seeking validation at every step. But the truth is that greatness does not need to be announced. It is carved in silence, nurtured in patience, and revealed only through undeniable results. The loudest noise you will ever make in your life is not through your voice, but through your achievements. Your silent hours of sacrifice, your consistent discipline, your patience during setbacks, these are the investments that will one day turn into victories that nobody can ignore. When you choose to stay focused on your own journey, ignoring the noise around you, you create a power that grows within. That power cannot be stolen by criticism, it cannot be destroyed by failure, and it cannot be weakened by doubt. It grows quietly, and then, when the time is right, it erupts in a way that leaves the world in awe. That is the beauty of silent efforts turning into loud results. Remember, success is not a straight road, and it is not an easy one. There will be distractions, that try to pull you away. There will be failures that try to break your spirit. And there will be moments of loneliness when nobody understands your struggle. But those are the exact moments that shape you. If you can endure them with patience, if you can keep walking with discipline, and if you can trust the process without needing constant applause, then your success will be built on the strongest foundation possible. One day, when your results finally speak, the very people who once doubted you will look at you with respect. The ones who underestimated you will be silenced by the proof of your hard work. And the world will realize that your silence was not emptiness, it was preparation. That your quiet dedication was not weakness, it was strength. That your sacrifices were not losses, they were seeds of victory. So never fear the silence, embrace it. Never chase noise, let your work create it. Build yourself quietly, with courage, with patience, with relentless discipline, and let your results speak in a voice louder than any words ever could.